Welcome, guys, to our Tenet non-spoiler review.
Tenet.
Tenet. You guys ready? Have you seen it? Probably not, but you might want to stick around and find out if you should.
Movie Minds.
Movie Minds. This is Ish.
And this is Ant.
And we're Movie Minds, where we keep you up to date with all the movie news and reviews and some shows.
And follow us on all our social media platforms. Press the like button, guys, the comment button. Tell us how you feel about us, if you love us, if you hate us, if you're lukewarm, whatever it is, we want to know. But now, on to our Tenet review.
Yes. Guys, it's so awesome to be able to go into a theater and actually experience the greatness of IMAX finally after 6 months of quarantine.
Yeah, it was crazy to be inside the doors of the walls of a movie theater.
Yeah.
If you follow us on our social media, you guys could see the movie theater that we went to. Went to Escondido, California.
Yep.
At Regal Cinema down there, and they had just opened that same day at 5:00 p.m.
Yeah, it was the first day. That was kind of like on accident. Yeah, I didn't know that was their first day. So.
Which is great that you were able to find that day the same thing. You know, I was thinking that they had been open probably for, I don't know. Maybe
me too. We were gonna go to Vegas to go watch it, but then started looking up stuff, and Escondido is a lot closer to us. So yeah, thanks Escondido, IMAX Regal in there. So you guys are awesome. Thank you.
There it is.
All right, guys. So with that being said, let's go into some overall thoughts on Tenet, which is a great way to start this, right? Isn't it amazing to do this with Christopher Nolan?
It is. Tenet is a espionage, international, feel good, introverted, very intricate, reversed. Dude, there is just a lot to say about this film.
There's absolutely a lot, man. Overall thoughts for me is it's a Christopher Nolan film. For those who know Interstellar, Inception, Memento, all these different crazy films, really well thought out films, you're in for another Christopher Nolan ride, dude. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, it has his stamp right away. I mean, the cinematography in this movie is amazing. You feel like you're back into almost a Dark Knight, Batman Begin kind of, world. You feel like you're in Gotham at times.
Dude, yeah, that opening scene, totally Gotham-esque.
Yeah, It was amazing the way that he was able to just, put his stamp of like, this is me. This is the way I make movies, and no one can take that away from me, pretty much.
Yeah.
But overall thoughts were, it was definitely a movie that had you thinking. It's a movie that needs to be watched at all times. So before you go into the theater, make sure that you go to pee-pee. You go number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
And do not take your eyes off the screen.
Yeah, very true. You guys are gonna want to watch it multiple times, and if you miss it like we did, we missed a few scenes, right? Because we had to go to the bathroom,
right?
Like dummies. You're gonna hate yourself. Anyway, so what's your favorite aspect of the film before we get into like more negative things?
The thing that I really enjoyed about the film and that I could appreciate, and again in that whole Nolan kind of hearted movie that it is definitely the inversion that was going on throughout the film.
The mechanics of the time travel, right?
Right, exactly. And so when you encounter that, you almost tell yourself, how the hell did he pull this off? How was he able to make this work with the camera? Because it looks so seamless. When you see something moving forward, but you also see something moving backwards at the same time, and it makes it look so flawless that your brain almost wants to explode. So honestly, it's one of the things that I really, really appreciated about this film.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite part was the score. The score for the film is just something else, man. The moment we sat down, we watched some trailers, which the Dunes trailer was great to watch. It's a sneak peek. Amazing, guys. Check that out when it comes out on the 7th.
Yeah, so cool.
So Ludwig Göransson, He was the one that scored the film, which he did Black Panther. He did The Mandalorian. He's done a bunch of stuff, and then he's done like stuff with like Alicia Keys, DJ Khaled, Childish Gambino. He's just an amazing composer, guys. And for Christopher Nolan to get in cahoots with this dude, it's just a match made in heaven, man.
Awesome.
The soundtrack came out today, so go ahead and check it out. Please check it out. I was listening to my car. It's my favorite part of the film, hands down, for sure.
It definitely gives it its own identity. The score, the music of the film is really great. I mean, it gets you on your seat, on the edge of your seat. The music is so intense, makes you feel like you're about to see something that's going to happen, that's going to change your life. All those things. This movie, I really like the acting by the girl that comes out in the film, and her name's Elizabeth Debicki. I thought that she did great. I love the look of her. It just really fit the whole
James
movie.
Bondish, huh? Isn't it like a Bond girl for sure?
And so this to me was that. It was Nolan's version of his James Bond. This film definitely made me feel like it wasn't about completely the star of the film, which was what's his name? John David Washington, Denzel's son. I felt like the whole plot, the whole story was the one that was driving this whole thing along, and you were more interested in what was happening within the story because it loses you guys. It really, you get lost at times if you're not paying attention. Even if you're paying attention, you'll get lost. And so I came out of the movie a bit lost in certain areas. And I think that's probably one of my biggest gripes about the film.
Let's talk about that.
Is the fact that it was a little hard to follow in moments and a lot of moments. And so I think that even in the beginning of the film, I know what Nolan was trying to do, since it was a 2.5 hour film. I think he went through the beginning of the film a bit too quickly and showed us the inversion a bit too quickly again, and I think it lost a lot of people. I think people got lost a bit. So this is definitely a film that you're gonna have to watch 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and you'll probably see a lot of things that you didn't see the first time.
Yeah, that's and that's kind of like a staple for Christopher Nolan, to be honest with you. Like every time I mean, for the first few
this
times,
one in a different way than the other films.
And I want to say is that I do agree with you on the whole pacing part of it. I believe that he rushed a little bit too much. Even for Christopher Nolan, I totally agree. There was moments towards the very end of the film that I didn't know what was exactly going on, and they were doing, and I didn't realize it until you pointed out something to me the other day. I mean, on the way back, that it made sense, but I wouldn't have picked that up until later on, maybe my second or third viewing, because I really truly believe that it's going to take at least 2 to 3 viewings to really comprehend the mechanics of the whole film. So that might lose you and make you not be very interested into the story, which the story is okay. Like, it's a spy film, end of the world, there's different gimmicks of spy film, which is fine because that's what spy films are. They have those. I totally agree. Pacing, time was a little bit confusing. And then there were certain parts which is kind of like a Christopher Nolan thing because they're so complex, is that it's very expository. Well, the storytelling and the plot, sometimes it's told to you like, hey, this is what's going on. Literally, there's a scene where you feel like you're in a video game, them telling you press X, go up. Press, there's an actual scene that feels like that, where you're like, okay, let me press X and Y, and you know what I mean? And it doesn't, it kind of took me out of the movie because I felt like I was playing a video game, which could be a good thing for some of you. And then sound design, sometimes I felt like it was like really harsh, and maybe it's just because I've been in quarantine for so long, and then being in an IMAX theater was like bleeding from my ears. So that's kind of part of it too.
A lot of it was the music over. It was And it's a very Nolan style, right? That
It
he
is.
does it, and so there's a lot of noise while someone is actually saying dialogue in the movie, and sometimes you can miss something that they say, and so that's why I'm a big fan of having the subtitles on the bottom on every movie.
I could have totally used subtitles.
Absolutely for this movie. One of the things that I really also enjoyed, and like I said, those are probably my biggest gripes, the ones that I just mentioned. I really loved Denzel. David Washington's performance. I think that he showed why he's a leading man and why he will continue to be a leading man in this industry. And also Robert Pattinson, he did great. I mean, there is this elegance about this guy that you want him in these films. I mean, I can even see him as a James Bond, to be quite honest.
Yes, you're totally right, dude. And I would not have agreed until right now, until watching this movie.
He was really great. He was really great. And so this movie at the end, though, does give you a feeling that there can be a sequel, a feeling that there can be, not that there will be. I don't know. However, you let us know what you guys think. That's what I got from it at the end. Yeah. And there was a couple of other things that if you really, really pay attention to them, that I actually didn't realize until actually Liz, his wife, mentioned about a certain character that I was like, yeah, that actually can be,
that makes sense.
That can make sense. And so there's a lot of things that you can take away from this movie. At the end of the day, guys, for me, I am gonna go ahead and give this a B-. I think a B- is good. It's something that I can't believe I'm giving a Nolan film, but I did think that the areas where it lacked, it really lacked, and I really feel that Nolan could have been a little bit more comprehensive, that the audience is intelligent, but I think that's another level. And so another level of comprehension there. And so I'm going to give it a B-. I think it's still a really great movie, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah. Ending thoughts on that. I agree with everything that you just said about the John David Washington. I think he's a leading man for sure. If you haven't seen Black Klansman, watch that. Amazing stuff. I totally agree with what you were talking about, just how confusing it could be. But I think that Nolan is trying to push the envelope of what storytelling will look like in a movie format. And I think that the pacing, he may have gone out of pocket a little bit on it, but I do think that now audiences have the ability and the intellect to be able to follow something that much, that complex. And I think that movies will be taking a lot of notes from this, especially on the pacing.
I think he's going to lose a lot of people with this film. I think most people are not going to understand it.
But I think that people will be entertained enough to be able to say, okay, I got to go back and watch.
But someone's got to pave the way, right, to those movies.
Exactly.
Those
and
are
I think
the things that are coming.
Yeah, and I think that the next few years, it's going to be something to look forward to. So overall, my score would be from a B to a B+. And I only say that because, again, I think you're going to have to watch it again. Today I woke up, started thinking about it, listened to the soundtrack, reminisced a little bit, and I started liking the film more because I was with you. I was on B- for sure, but right now I'm right there on the plus side.
And be aware of that film where they're in the hallway and they're fighting. That's one of the best fight scenes that I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, absolutely,
dude. It was so great.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys.
All right, guys. So let us let us know what you guys think about the review. Please tell us if you're gonna go out and watch it, even amongst the COVID. So, guys, please take care. Stay safe and always
stay
movie minded.
Yeah.